What's amazing about it is that as you hear each story could be a movie of great inspiration, a movie of great motivation, as when you hear everybody speak. Listen to the power of music as they speak. Mark, if you would please, Marty, tell us your story.
My name is Mark Goffeney, and I'm the only non-drummer up here. You know, and drummers are kind of a cult. They're kind of a clique, you know. But I've been getting along with everybody so much. When I was asked to join the Can-Do Musos, I had to be honest with myself that I grew up as a poster child with a charity, and I always avoided the other people with disabilities. So is the word. I don't like that word either,
right.
Dom. And by the way, Dom, the work that you're doing, you said some awesome things. I don't know if you made them up, but the fact that talent, doesn't judge, and you're right. And I was actually born this way, with a really big nose.
Me too.
But I really have a feeling my parents were probably hoping that I was going to want to grow up to be a river dancer, or or a soccer player, or something that made some sense. Actually, my first instrument was trombone, and then I tried to learn Stairway to Heaven on it, and it sounded a little crappy. So people ask me sometimes, I've been playing guitar since I was a teenager. The first song I learned, Smoke on the Water, come on, and I learned it the wrong way, like everybody does. But people go, where did you find the inspiration to play guitar with your feet? And I go, it's simple, chicks. Same as anybody else. Anyway, I'm feeling a little intimidated. These guys have been picking on me all day. I wanted to say a couple things real quick. Who's a non-musician that's always hanging around with a band?
Yeah, I hear you.
A drummer. Yeah. So I said that to a drummer who's a friend of mine, and he came back with, well, what do you call a guitarist without a girlfriend? I said, what is it? You did, really? Oh, okay. Homeless is the answer to that one. Yeah. So, I too have experienced some inaccessibility, and I relate with all your stories, and I am very motivated. And I think I avoided other people with disabilities just because, I just felt like I could blend better when we're not all together. Like I wouldn't get caught ditching school, which I did, because they'd look around they go, well, they all got away. Well, there's Mark, so I get the pink slip, and but so I'm almost ashamed of the fact that, growing up, I was kind of like, well, all my friends are normal, like I was afraid that we would repel more people if we all got together. You know what I mean? Like, people are so scared of people with disabilities, like, oh shit, there's an army of them coming. But, now that I've matured as a musician, I've spent some time with each of you, and, we are as diverse amongst ourselves as we are anybody else, and we all hear the same things, and I've realized that we sort of have a culture. We have a culture of sort of dealing with folks and kids asking questions or things like that, and it's kind of awesome to share in that culture. We have different disabilities. I typically don't hang around with too many people that use wheelchairs. It's the proper way to say it. They're not in wheelchairs because you're not always in your wheelchair. You're using your wheelchair. But I'm afraid of folks in wheelchairs because I'm afraid I'm going to get my toes broke if I keep hanging out with these guys. Then my career's over and y'all can go on drumming in your chair. Real quick on my story, my son, I have 3 kids, and I grew up a single musician and a dad, and we had amplifiers for tables and stuff. I did all the same kind of stuff. And so my daughter, who's 25 and just made me a grandpa, sent me an email the other day. And you're going to probably know the punchline on this one too, but she said, Dad, this is you. And she said, a musician, a man who drives a $500 car, 2,000 miles, packs the car with $5,000 worth of gear to play a $50 show. And I went, yeah. But I got a big break when I was street performing somewhere, and my son came up one day. He goes, "Hey, Dad, you're viral." I'm like, "Watch your mouth, young man. No, I'm not. You're gross. You haven't taken a shower in a week." He goes, "No, Dad, that's a good thing. That means you've got so many millions of views." And it was a Tom Petty song, and Tom Petty saw it, and we ended up opening up for him, and I went viral on a video. And thank you. Yeah. And, And that's how I met these cats, was my internet presence. But we've opened up for Def Leppard. I have a band called Big Toe, and so also in the media, I've done some things. I did a commercial for the NFL when the NFL website first came up, and the gig was to change a baby's diaper with your feet. They wanted a man's feet, and like thousands of people auditioned, and nobody could do it. The only one that could do it was a woman, and she was African American and had too pretty of legs. And they said, no, your legs are too pretty. We need a rugged man's legs to change this baby's diaper. Having raised kids, where my wife would just say, take your damn kid. It's your fault that we have them to begin with. So I could do it, and that was a pretty good gig, and that kind of got me into the showbiz scene a little bit. And they kept saying, well, we'll get back to you. We have other applicants, and the SAG pays $350 a day to film the commercial. And so she called me back about a month later and said nobody else could do it. And I said, how much does that gig pay again? It just went up, yeah. So, everybody said everything that I wanted to say, and in a way that's a good thing because it tells me that I'm not alone in this. And I just want to close with this, that I didn't become a river dancer, and you didn't become a computer analyst, and you're a drummer, and you're a drummer, and you're a drummer. I'm getting sick of the drumming. But it is unlikely that a guy with no arms would play guitar, or that a person who uses a wheelchair would play drums. But I was sitting here thinking about it, and when you're a child, your dreams are never built on a perceived limitation. They're just not. You dream what you dream because you are who you are, and it's already in you. And everybody, my whole life has been going, son, if you don't want to do your chores, look at this armless kid, and just remember, never say you can't do it. But I heard tonight when Andrew told me I never say can't in my studio. That applies to you too. You don't have to have a disability to say, that looks hard, but if it's what you want and you believe in it enough, it's not that different for you as it is for us with a disability. It's the same feeling of that's going to be hard. How am I going to pull that off? So really, we're not different. We're all, we all feel it's the same way. How am I going to get up a flight of stairs? It's the same feeling for you of something that looks difficult and challenging. So we all share those same things. So we can learn from each other in this business, and the media is afraid of us a little bit. I've been on countless reality shows where you audition America's Next Greatest Band and all these things. And I always think the producers sit around and go, how many records are we who's going to buy his record except for the foot fetish people? I mean, what kind of a market do we actually have here?
In New York, that's a big market.
I'm moving there. So I appreciate folks like Dom and some other celebrity entertainers that I've met over the years that kind of get it like you do. That it's about the music, it's about the art, and it's about that. And Joe, and I keep saying I'm going to close. I know the security's ready to throw us out. Joe said it last night at the club. We were hanging out at a club, having a great time, and he goes, it's not all about, oh, that's amazing, you play. He goes, you can't suck. You know what I mean? None of us want to suck. Like, I don't want to go play my guitar and go, well, that's great, he can play one chord with his toes. Like, we're working to be better as musicians, and that's the most important thing. And the fact that you're out doing clinics to help people with challenges to get their art out is like, I never get choked up, but that kicks ass. And I thank you for having us. Thank you guys for bringing me.
Thank you, Mark.